Variant is gaining traction around the world.
Today, we will be classifying this as a variant of interest.
That's EG.5, a COVID-19 subvariant that's being discovered around the globe.
It's effectively a cousin of the Omicron variant.
Experts say stronger variants and subvariants are to be expected.
In Canada, the new infections, 36% of new cases are due to this virus.
So we're starting to see this. Global's Catherine Ward tracking that story for us.
Joining us live on 680 CJOB. We haven't forgotten about him. It's been a while since we chatted. Raywat Deonandan is an epidemiologist from the University of Ottawa and at one point a frequent contributor here on 680 CJOB in the news. Good afternoon, Raywat. Thanks for doing this.
Good afternoon. Good to be back, though, for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, exactly. One day we want to talk about Instapot recipes, but for now, EG.5, is that going to be dealt with if we get boosters this fall?
Yes.
Okay. So if I mean, did they have to tweak the booster?
Yeah.
Or is it just...
So here's what you need to know. The boosters coming this fall are monovalent XBB boosters, meaning they've got just one strand tuned to the XBB subvariant of Omicron. And EG.5 is a descendant of XBB, so a grandchild of Omicron. So it's a close enough relation that the match is still pretty good. And most experts are thinking that it's going to be, the booster will offer extraordinarily good protection. Will it protect against actual infection? Probably a little bit. It'll probably reduce the probability of infection somewhat, but it's going to offer very good protection against the worst outcomes, including hospitalization and death.
So is the XBB monovalent, yes, booster, is that already in the pipeline now? Because it's August.
Yes, it is. So at least one or two companies, I believe, have successfully filed for use with the CDC, or the FDA rather, in the USA, and I think Health Canada has approved one as well here. Novavax is submitting theirs. So we're going to have at least 3 competitor versions of this vaccine coming in the fall. The question is whether our local jurisdictions will order them in sufficient quantity for demand, and what guidance NACI will offer for how they should be used. Right now, it seems they're being recommended for high-risk populations. I think everyone should consider getting them for a variety of reasons. Not only does it reduce your risk of a bad outcome, but it helps protect other people who are more vulnerable.
Fall can be for many people September, but I reckon this doesn't happen till October. The variants are here. In your view, does this need to be accelerated at all? Not necessarily by months, but weeks.
It'll be nice if the boosters were available now, but they won't be. It takes time to manufacture and time to ship them and time to go through all the red tape. But the good news is that your existing immunity from your previous vaccination will confer some good protection. This coming wave that has already started is going to be a real wave that creates some degree of stress on our healthcare system, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as previous ones. So this is not something to have apocalyptic dread over. The other good news is that we have tools that are variant proof. These include mask wearing, these include staying away from infected people, and they include making good choices in your social life. So these things always work, and I encourage people to consider using all the tools available.
Because a lot of people may not have had a shot since last fall, maybe around the time that they got their flu shot. Once again, many of us get the flu shot, not so much because we're concerned about the flu, but because we have elderly people in our lives or people who have vulnerable conditions that we're trying to protect. So I'm wondering if this could be October, November before this new shot is available. Should we just take the one that's probably available now?
That's a really good question that I'm asked all the time. That's an individual risk scenario that you really have to discuss with your family doctor. Maybe you're immunocompromised, maybe you're in contact with more immunocompromised people, maybe you're going on a trip. So my personal feeling is XBB and its descendants are the threat. And that threat is what's driving the fall wave, and we should try to seek the tool that most addresses that particular threat, and that means the monovalent vaccine. Your existing immunity from previous vaccination will confer a fair amount of protection against the worst outcomes already. So my gut feeling, the advice that I give people in my close circles is wait unless you have reason not to wait. But when your time is up, come and get the monovalent booster as soon as you can.
Very, very briefly, when it comes to the flu shot, are you seeing that they might have a good handle on what was happening from the Southern Hemisphere?
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to that, frankly, but
Okay.
it looks like a good flu year, and we're going to have a good vaccine for that too. So hey, let's get jabbed.
Can get it done all at once. It's a
Yeah.
one-stop shop, and if there's nothing that Winnipeg like, it's a BOGO offer. So Ray Deonandan, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
U of Ottawa.